So, when you hear the word vulnerability, what comes up for you? That's what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm Lesli Dories, your marriage coach and creator of the Hero Husband Project and owner of Foundations Coaching. And vulnerability, that's a tough word. It's funny, this last weekend, my husband and I spent the weekend with some good friends, and we were talking about an experience that I had when I was in college. And I shared that I was in an emotionally abusive relationship. And my friend said, "But you're so strong." And I wasn't when I was 19 years old. And it's a part of my life that, I'll talk about, not all the time, but it's helped make me who I am. It's helped me grow up. It's helped me learn. But to share that with other people, that here what they see isn't always the person that I was. And in fact, like you, I'm still growing and learning and trying to deal with those parts of me that I don't want to share. But vulnerability is key to really get the intimacy and the connection that we all are looking for. And we kind of want to do it without like jumping all the way into the deep end of the ocean or the deep end of the pool. We want to kind of hedge our vulnerability. And the truth is that we do have to be careful about who we share things with. This is the where trust comes in. That I can trust you with my deeper, darker, not proud of things that I have done or that I'm feeling or whatever it is, being vulnerable. And unfortunately, a lot of men are not allowed to be vulnerable, not even by the women in their lives. I was just on the phone with somebody and I was sharing that if I could take back one moment in my marriage, it would be the time that my husband came home and told me that he almost quit his job that day because he had a horrible boss who was a horrible human being. And I understood how tough it was, but we were not in any financial position for him to quit his job. And he scared the crap out of me when he said that. And I did not handle it well. I let him down. He was being vulnerable with me, and I was not worthy of that vulnerability in that moment. And we've all had those moments. And the thing that we need to do is to learn from those moments. The thing that we need to learn to do is how do we be a place of trust for our partners? Because the truth of the matter is if your partner tells you something deep about themselves, you have to treat it as the precious gift that it is. If it comes flying back at them in an argument or in some other way, they will never trust you again. They won't share with you. And that sets up this distance. And love can't bridge that distance. The only thing that can bridge that distance is trust, that you are a trustworthy person, which means you got to do your own work. We have to figure out where those areas are for us so that we can stand in solidarity with our partners. So that when they are struggling, we don't add to it or push them away. Because when people reach out to us in those moments, they're not doing it necessarily to test us, to test you. But what's going to happen is you are going to show them whether you were trustworthy. And in that moment, my husband could not trust me. And it's something that I have to live with, that I let him down. Now, luckily, he was able to go past that, and we were able to get through that. But it's a moment I regret because I wasn't strong enough in that moment to be the partner he needed. And this is what happens all the time in our relationships, these little moments where we might not even think they're a big deal, but they are to our partners. And if we want our partners to be vulnerable, if we want our partners to be real, if we want them to be authentic, then we have to be worthy of that. And if you're not, if you struggle with this, if you struggle to be vulnerable, or if your partner struggles to be vulnerable, I'm going to tell you your relationship is not everything that it can be. And a lot of people think of vulnerability as a weakness. It is not. You cannot be weak and vulnerable at the same time. And what we want to do, if we want to have a really loving, supportive society, is to allow that vulnerability. So if you'd like to hear more about this, I would actually love to hear your thoughts about this. So please put a comment down below. If you would like some help knowing how to either make reparations for a time that you weren't supportive to your partner, or to learn how to be open to their vulnerability and be able to step into yours. Because by the way, guys, heroes are not invulnerable. Heroes just step up and into their vulnerability and do their best anyway. That's what makes them heroes. So if you want to be a hero husband, I invite you to get in touch with me. You can send me an email at leslie@foundationscoachingnc.com. You can direct message me on Facebook, and I hope you'll follow me on this channel. And until next week, stay loving.